Good morning, everyone, and apologies for being rather flustered and late. We had a bereavement to deal with, which delayed me slightly. Firstly, just good morning, lovely to see everyone. A reminder that from next week onwards, from Sunday is 9:30, but on Monday onwards, because we are back in shul, so it will be at the earlier time of 6:45 on Mondays and 7 a.m. on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, and Thursday being a laning day, it will be at 6:45. And we'll have now introduced Fridays at 7 a.m. and that will be, if you can't get up that early or you're having your breakfast then you can look at the recording afterwards. Okay, so let's now dedicate. Today's learning is dedicated in memory of Leah Bas Bible, Rabbi Yaakov Tzvi, David Aryeh Ben Yomin, Akiva Ben Shlomo, Aryeh Ben Reb Shimon, Tzipor Fekelos Reuben Baruch, Paul Kazimir, Shalom Ben Eleli, Ben Bas Bible, Pluma Shoshana Bas Yaakov Shmuel, Caleb Ben Bas Henach, Yom Yechiel Ben Moshe Eliezer, Sarah Malka Bas Ben Yomin, Shlomo Yechiel Ben Yeshua Levi, Avram Mordechai Ben Moshe, as well as the Yortzeit. Find them. No, that's it for today. Okay, so now let's look at the next Mishnah. We're in chapter 3, making good progress. I hope everyone is well. Okay, so where were we? So we spoke about Akavi ben Mahalel, and we spoke about the fact that we have an obligation to pray for the peace of the Malchus, of the government. And in fact, what's interesting is in the First World War, you may recall, and it's well documented, that you had Jewish soldiers. I have a picture of my great-grandfather in the First World War as a German officer in the First World War. So you had Jews on both sides that would be fighting on the British and on the German side in the First World War that were fighting. And that reflects the loyalty, the unswerving loyalty that we have to the country in which we grace and in the government. Okay, so let's go on to the next Mishnah. Rabbi Hanania ben Tradion Omer. Rabbi Hanania ben Tradion said, two people that are sitting and don't have a word of Torah. There's no proper conversation between them, right? You know, you can tell a person as to, by the conversation, when they're sitting, are they speaking about something that is rather small-minded, mundane, politics, the weather, the latest statistics, I don't know, or fashions and holidays, or do they, when they sit down, have, more significant, more profound conversations? So that is what Rabbi Hanania ben Tradion is discussing. Okay? You have to be quiet. Okay. Aval Shnaim Sheyoshvim v'yesh b'neim divrei Torah. Oh, sorry, we've got a visitor. You want to come? Okay, and two that sit and they have between them divrei Torah. Shechina shriya b'neihem. The divine presence wants to rest between them. So we have to understand that we know that it says in the Torah that I will make for me a dwelling place in relation to the tabernacle, the Mishkan, and I will dwell. And it doesn't say I will dwell in it. It says I will dwell in them. Grammatically incorrect. There was only one tabernacle that was made. Our rabbis extrapolate from that, friends, as you're all aware, that therefore, when it comes to the creating a space, a home for God's presence to rest, where can we create that? Wherever we let God in. So therefore, we are meant to make ourselves Asu li mikdash, make for me a sanctuary. Make yourselves into a sanctuary, and I will dwell in them. I will dwell in those sanctuaries wherever they are, wherever you create them. And therefore, that is incumbent upon us to ensure that our homes, our lives, are places where the divine presence should and could rest, right? If it is that it is, double standards, we're living two different lives, one in the home, one out the home, one in business and one out of business, then clearly there is something wrong, and that is not a place where the divine presence would want to rest. Okay, one final thought, and then we'll wrap it up for today. Apologies, we were slightly late. Rabbi Shimon Omer. Rabbi Shimon says, actually, we're going to go on for this because it's very similar to the previous idea. Okay, Rabbi Chanina ben Chachinai Omer. Rabbi Chanina ben Chachinai said as follows: Haneor balayla, somebody who stays awake at night. V'mahalech b'derech yichidi, or somebody who travels alone on the road. Umafane libo mevatala, and turns his heart to idleness. Then harezem is chayah b'nafsho. Then he's placing his life in danger. In other words, turning yourself to frivolities and idleness, it leads to a person possibly being tempted to do the wrong thing. Similarly, if in a similar way, a person is in danger. We're not meant to go out. Remember, the days gone by, to go out on a journey would be perilous to go out at night on your own, right? There would be, highway robbers, and there would be, one could literally be killed along the road. In fact, I remember in Glasgow there was a guy I knew who was actually the barber, and he went to have a drink, and he stood on his own a distance from the pub where it was dark, and he was killed. Going out even in today's world, sadly, on one's own is, walking at night is dangerous. So therefore, we are making a comparison. In the same way that going out onto the roads is dangerous, so it is that being left to frivolity and idleness in one's life at night, right, is not productive and can lead us astray. We all know stories of people that found themselves on business trips, or they were on their own at night, and they were tempted and they compromised on their values. So that's the purpose of this Mishnah, and that is why we have to ensure that we make sure our lives are filled with productive, constructive activities. It can be chesed, it can be kindness, it can be charity work, whatever it is. Fill your lives to the brim with productive activities and make a lasting contribution. So we're going to stop there. I apologize that we were slightly late. So tomorrow we are not on. Tomorrow, this evening, we've got the Burst of Inspiration, I believe, and then tomorrow we've got 2 p.m. with David Berman, Kabbalat Shabbat, and then next week, 8, it'll be 9:30 on Sunday, and after that, we're back to school, back to shul, and therefore it will be at the earlier times, which will be emailed out. So just remember, Sunday is 9:30, Monday is, we said, 6:45, and if you can't reach it then play catch up. Okay. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. He causes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters. He restores my soul. He leads me in a path of righteousness for his name's sake. Even as I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I will fear no evil, for you are with me. Your rod and your staff, they comfort me. You set a table before me in the presence of my adversaries. You anointed my head with oil. My cup overflows. May only goodness and kindness pursue me all the days of my life, and I will dwell in the house of the Lord for the length of days. Memorial prayer. Adonai Olamim Zachor es Nishmos. Leah Bas Bible, Rav Yaakov Tzvi Ben David Aryeh. We just had the sheet and it's gone walkabout, literally. It's bizarre today. Tzipora Fegel Bas Ruben Baruch, Paul Kazimir, Shalom Ben Eleli Ben Bas Bible from Shushan Bas Yaakov Shmuel. Kayla Bela Bas Henoch Yom Yochi Ben Moshe Elias Asar Marka Bas Ben Yom Shlomo Yechia Ben Yeshua Levi Abram Mordechai Ben Moshe Katna Shal Chuli Elaman Begad Eden Tei Menucha Sam Lachim Balarachamim Yasti Reim Ben Zeizek Anavav Yolamim Yisabas Achayim Teshvasam Adonai Nachlasam V'Yanuchu B'Shlom Mishkavam V'Namar Amen. Long life wishes to all. Lastly, Refuah Shalema prayer. Mi Sheverach Havasin Ramin Shlomo Yaakov Moshe Aaron David Shlomo Yivakra B'Sachayim Babu Shan Hashtag Makarev and Omar. Amen. Okay, we wish everyone well. Look after yourselves. Have a great day. Remember the new times. We'll see you for a burst of inspiration later, discussing about the smashing of the tablets of stone, the golden calf, and many more things. Have a great day. We'll see you later.